Hello, it's Damian Questiny. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me today. Thought we'd talk about neurolinguistic programming and also a bonus at the end. Speculation and fantasy for fun. So neurolinguistic programming is something that we face all the time when we go out into the world. Because every major corporation has spent a lot of money figuring out how to get their products in front of you and for you to actually commit to letting go of your wealth for their product. Because, consume, buy, come here, look what I have for you, this shiny new object that's made out of plastic and covered with this really pretty pink paint. And you go, oh yeah, I want to. So that's what neurolinguistic programming's biggest financiers have been. So the majority of its influence comes from propaganda, which is fine. But you can actually use neurolinguistic programming to your advantage, especially if you understand how it works. And when you go online, you'll find out that it's made by some guys in the 70s or something. And it's a form of communication. It's not a form of communication from my perspective. This is why I want to talk about it. It's actually a form of listening. And listening is critical. I'll give you a perfect example about listening. You're driving a bus with 43 passengers. You have to make 12 stops. The first 6 stops, you drop off 4 people, but pick up 2. On the last stop, you drop off 6 people, but pick up 8. What's the name of the driver of the bus? So raise your hand if you know the answer. If you don't know the answer, then you are the exact person that a profiteer would be looking for, right? Because they would extract your wealth from you as a large corporation, for example, using this propaganda of neurolinguistic programming. However, if you did know the answer, then technically you wouldn't be the person they're looking for because you wouldn't need any of their products or services. So that's the foundational principle, if you will. But I don't want to go through all the stages. I want to talk about it more in a holistic way and ask you, how do you see it in your life? Do you see it when you go to the movies, where there seems to be a common theme presented, a way to shape your new reality? Do you see that when you go to the movies? Like, I don't know, maybe in my life I could say yes. When I was a kid, I remember Star Trek, and I used to love Star Trek. Captain Kirk was pretty radical for me. I like that guy. And he had this thing called a communicator that he would say, "Beam me up, Scotty," right? And now we have the cell phone. So I would say that neurolinguistic programming as a child, of having that ability to see that, to conceptualize that, to build a model from that, because I was shown or given the seed to plant and what it could become. So I actually had a way to build that model through my energy, because I've been given this tool of imagination, right? I'm piecing together this part of my imagination. So now our society created that, made that happen because we wanted that so badly. So badly. So it begs the question. We wanted that pretty badly, but we also wanted the teleportation. Where's my tinfoil hat? Oh, there it is. Okay, we're good. Here we go. Let's get into the fun part, the bonus. How neurolinguistic programming can actually benefit you. How you can use this technique to allow you to accept different realities that you want these streams of information and consciousness to come to you. You want to be allowed to be open to these and to participate, to not necessarily be a repeater or a transmitter, but to actually be a receiver of that information. So you're receiving its true essence and its true core through this neurolinguistic programming process. You can strip out all of the symbolism and the minutia and get to the core. That's what I'm talking about through this process. So the tinfoil hat is on. Do we have teleportation? Because I know when I was younger, that was something that I really wanted. Is that a reality? Is that a technology that we possess? And how do we use that technology? If we did, what would it look like? Would it be Tesla tech? 369, for those out there who know what that means. Curious what you guys think of that. Rodent coils? Anybody? Electromagnetic universe? Possibility? Yes or no? Or is it really just one big fusion reaction? One big explosion? What do you think? So let's plant a seed and see where it goes. Let's create together a neurolinguistic programming apparatus. It can be filled, and let's see if it germinates. Let's practice and put out an idea. There's, in my estimation, let's start with a premise here. Let's start with could be a false premise, so that's why you don't have to participate if you don't want to, but let's start here at this moment with this. Let's say that we're on the verge of many, many secrets that are going to be revealed. Many memos are going to come out. Let's call it that. But more importantly, there's going to be pictures. And the pictures is what's going to be scary, right? Again, this is just a fantasy here. We're just creating a story. Could it be possible that maybe the scariest part, maybe overtly being what these people may be doing in these images that appear to be very, very authentic, very real, and so real, in fact, that under every scrutiny, they are as if, I don't know, maybe you can say somebody was standing there in the room with you at the time? But yet, the people who are in the picture, they all know who was in the room at the time, right? But they go like, wait a minute, how did that picture get there? Neurolinguistic programming. How did the picture get there? That will scare anybody. Was there a ghost in the room who took the picture? Because all the parties were right there, but how did that get there? So, curious what you guys think about that. Is teleportation real? And on top of that, is Wonder Woman's special ability with the invisible ship? Is invisibility real too? What are we dealing with here? What do you think? Some of these images perhaps may be so real, it's almost as if somebody was standing in the room. Use neurolinguistic programming to your advantage. Use it to create a conduit for you to change your focus, to give you a path, a goal, a mission. Put purpose behind your life. And you will find joy. You will find happiness. And why? Is because you will be filling your cup with experience. And you will be sharing with the world your perspective because it will be valuable. Because it will be unique. Well, everybody, appreciate you taking the time to listen if you made it this far. Love to hear from you. Y'all have a great day. Cheers.